Welcome back here to Art, Florida. In less than 3 weeks, the people of Lake Worth Beach, Greenacres, Palm Springs, and the surrounding areas have a decision to make on who should represent them on the Palm Beach County Commission. They can re-elect a Governor DeSantis appointed Republican who has held the seat since 2023, Michael Barnett, or elect the former mayor of Greenacres, Democrat Joel Flores. We're going to talk to Mr. Flores tomorrow, but we have Mr. Barnett joining us here live on the couch. Thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
You've had the job here since 2023. What do you think that experience helps give you the leg up here this election?
Well, I've been on the job. I've done the job every single day. I've been to all the meetings. I deal with the constituents. I'm in the community every single day talking with business owners, residents. I host community forums. I'm going to have another one with condo owners in a few days, and they tell me what really is happening on the streets, on the ground, in the district, and that's part of being a good leader. You have to demonstrate leadership, you have to listen to people, you have to hear their concerns, and then bring them to the Board of County Commissioners and act upon them in the best interests of everyone in the district.
I know the concerns over those condo assessments right now are certainly at the top of a lot of your constituents' minds. What are your goals? What are you doing to try to fix these issues for them?
This was brought to my attention several months ago at a community forum. Condo owners in my district, many of them seniors, many of them Latinos, on fixed incomes, they can't afford to pay these skyrocketing condo fees. The reserve studies have to be conducted. We need to make sure Surfside never happens again. However, we think the legislature reacted too quickly and too broadly, and seniors don't have enough time. Condo owners need more time to get these fees paid. I'm hearing stories about fees tripling and quadrupling in their monthly payments. I'm hearing people have to come out of pocket 6 figures to pay these fees to conduct the studies. We need more time. The studies have to be done, but as the governor said, the legislature needs to call a special session to give condo owners relief. That's what my office has done. We send out thousands of letters to residents in my district, and we've seen an amazing response. They've sent back petitions heeding my call upon the legislature to conduct a special session, which may happen. The governor's asked for relief before the end of the year. They're hearing us. We're making noise. And the people in my district feel like somebody's finally fighting for them and giving them a voice.
And obviously, certainly all over the county, really all over South Florida, affordable housing, is a big issue. What are you doing to work to try to find more affordable housing for the people in District 3?
We're approving projects. We're looking at 2 more projects at the next meeting. In my district, I'm proud to say we have, during my term, approved about 370 affordable and workforce housing units. There's a community about 2 blocks north of where I live, Prosperity Cottage Villages, we're going to be cutting the ribbon and opening that community. Tiny homes, but I think it's a good thing that 370 families are going to have a place to live instead of couch hopping, instead of maybe sleeping in their cars. District 3 is ground center of our homeless epidemic in Palm Beach County. They're looking to me as their leader, and I'm proud to say that my policy has been to build more affordable housing immediately, as fast as possible, to get people off the streets and to get our employees, our law enforcement, our nurses, our teachers, living in Palm Beach County where they work instead of having to commute from 2 counties over. That's unacceptable. We're working on it, and we're going to continue to do so.
You talk about that commute. Anyone who's driven up and down Lake Worth Road knows it's not the easiest drive.
That's right.
What are you working on to try to help public transit and just getting around town, because it's getting pretty hard in Palm Beach County?
Well, in Palm Springs, whenever school lets out, it's almost impossible to move, especially on Kirk Road, Alameda, Davis. We're working directly with the city managers and mayors, leaders in the community, with school board members, other commissioners in our multi-jurisdictional task force to create a transportation master plan to find out how we can solve transportation problems of today and also 30 years from now. But it's not going to happen until we get a plan enacted. The RFP, I think, is going to be going out for a design to create this master plan. But this should have been done many, many years ago. It was a result of poor planning. Palm Springs, Greenacres, where these cities were not designed to accommodate the population explosion that we're experiencing right now. I see it every day on my commute to work.
Yeah, certainly, a lot of people in not just District 3, but all over Palm Beach County. In terms of crime, there have been multiple arrests. Our I-team has uncovered more information sort of about the brothels in the neighborhoods of Lake Worth. What do you see as a top priority to make sure that the neighborhoods in District 3 are safe?
Well, incident involving the brothel owner happened 4 minutes from where I live. I know the area, become a part of the community, and it's really sad to see this young kid, this 14-year-old, who was caught up in a life of crime and gangs, allegedly had suffered abuse as a child. The only people he could look up to were criminals. Have now caused him to face a murder charge and possibly life in prison, ruining his life, and not just his life, but the victims' lives. We need to make sure that PBSO, first and foremost, has all the resources they need to continue to police, community police, and protect our people. I see them in the streets patrolling in my neighborhood, and I commend the sheriff. I commend his people. They work really hard in protecting us. I'm proud that we approved a budget this year to fully fund the sheriff's office. We also need to work with Community Services Department in Palm Beach County. They have the greatest people working on the ground with nonprofit organizations like 211, Lord's Place, Family Impact, Bridges. These are people who are directly dealing with families and children and providing the resources they need to avoid a life of crime and have a fruitful, productive life, and as well as mentoring groups that I work with at the courthouse. Excel is a great private organization that provides mentoring. I was at an event hosted by CBS 12 with Luis Greenacres last night, where we honored 2 young people who are doing very well in their respective fields, helping not just their families but their peers to do well in school and in their future careers.
You've also, just kind of want to end with this, you've received an endorsement from former President Donald Trump. You know, he called you specifically out on social media as a highly respected person, that you're doing an incredible job. How much does that endorsement mean to you, and what does it mean for this race?
He's a friend of mine, and he calls me his friend. It's incredibly important to me. President Trump's popularity in my district, especially among Hispanic voters, is through the roof, higher than it's ever been. I knock doors every single day with my team, and I make sure to let people know that I have the endorsement of not just the president, but also the governor, Senator Rubio, Rick Scott. I have the endorsement of our local police, our local fire, our state police, state fire. I have the endorsement of 2 incredibly important Hispanic organizations, Hispanic Vote and HISPAC. I have the grassroots support widespread across the district. I'm proud of that, from the very top at Mar-a-Lago to the ground in District 3.
Mr. Michael Barnett, thank you very much for your time. Running for Palm Beach County Commission in District 3.